Hey yo, what is happening guys? This is Ardyn coming at you with a very sad news. We know now that the DLC's Dawn of the Future has been cancelled. Well, 75% of it is cancelled. Only episode Ardyn is being developed on, which is kind of ironic if you had to think about it, because Ardyn is winning because he's getting his story, so we get to know him. He wanted Luna Freya gone. Luna's gone. Her DLC is gone. The Star Scourge that we were supposed to learn about from Aranea, gone. He wanted Noctis defeated. Episode Noctis is gone and Ardyn is alive. But in all seriousness, it is sad. But you have to look at Square Enix from their standpoint. So let's just dive straight into the articles for the reasoning for the termination of the DLC preparation, and also how Hajime Tabata resigned from Square Enix. So yes, Hajime Tabata resigned. Final Fantasy 15 character DLC cancelled. Game director Hajime Tabata quit. So episode Ardyn is confirmed to be the last Final Fantasy 15 character add-on release, and that basically means episode Ardyn is the last thing for Final Fantasy 15. So right here, 3 of the next 4 character focused add-ons for Final Fantasy 15 has been cancelled. Square Enix announced today, and game director Hajime Tabata has left the company. One of the add-ons, Final Fantasy 15 episode Ardyn, will still release in March 2019, but episodes based on the characters Aranea, Luna Freya, and Noctis have been scrapped. All 4 episodes were previously planned to be released in 2019 and would have been offered side stories and alternate finales to Final Fantasy 15. Episode Ardyn will let players step into the role of Final Fantasy 15's main antagonist in the chapter set before the events of the main game. Square Enix will release the anime for Final Fantasy 15 prologue, episode Ardyn prologue, as well, and the sneak peek of the episode Ardyn. I have it on the channel, so you guys can just check that out. So yes, there will be an anime series for Ardyn. It's going to be a prequel to the anime of Brotherhood, most likely, and I'm pretty excited for that. So this is all gonna be like a prequel to the prequel to the prequel, just like how Kingslave is like a prequel just a few moments before Final Fantasy 15 even happens, but and during the events. So as for the departure of the game director Hajime Tabata, Square Enix announced that he has resigned from the company in October and will start his own company. Akio Afuji, sorry if I butchered that name, a global brand director of Final Fantasy 15, explained in a YouTube video that the Luminos Productions, the new studio established this year, is to develop AAA titles for a global audience. Will shift its focus from developing DLCs to work in a new game entirely. Tabata did not appear during the video hosted by Ofuji, and instead offered a written statement about his resignation from Square Enix. So the fact that they did not want to make DLCs for Final Fantasy 15, that's a bad thing. I mean, it's you have to see it from Square's perspective. They need money. I'll get more into that later because there is a major loss of $33 million. I'll get into that later on in the video. But let's just see what Papa Tabata had to say. And Hajime Tabata being one of my favorite directors, this is honestly tear-jerking for me because it's almost going to be 2 whole years since the release of Final Fantasy 15. I honestly believe the reason we were able to get this far is because of all you loyal fans. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Today I have a personal announcement to make to all of you. I, Hajime Tabata, will resign from Luminos Productions and the Square Enix Group as of October 31st, 2018. I was able to gain so much experience with my time at Square Enix. Every title I was able to be a part of means a lot to me. However, Final Fantasy 15 stood out from the group as it was a special project for me, which I went all in. Therefore, I decided to take this opportunity to officially announce my departure from Final Fantasy 15 to all the fans who have supported the title across the globe. In regards for my next endeavors and near future, I have a project that I truly wish to solidify as my next challenge after 15. For that reason, I have decided to leave my current position and start my own business in order to achieve my goal. As production of episode Ardyn continues and Luminous Production works on a new projects, I felt that it was time for me to hand over the torch to the next gen of groups of talented and trustworthy colleagues, and believe that they will create something amazing. From this day on, I will cheer and support Square Enix and Luminous Productions together with all you fans. I would like to thank everyone who continued to support Final Fantasy 15 and those who have also supported myself personally. Tabata was also announced as the head of the Luminous Productions in March. When we spoke to Tabata at last year's Gamescom, he told Polygon that he was interested in working with something entirely different as he follows up Final Fantasy 15, which launched late 2016. The next project I want to do is completely new IP. I think it's going to be very large scale as a project we learned and developed from Final Fantasy 15. Now, of course, this is so sad news, and the fact that he wants to do his own stuff, you have to respect the man for doing that, because you know he wants to do his own stuff, and you cannot be angry with him doing that, because you know it's his ambitions. Now, of course, it is sad because he made 3 of my favorite Final Fantasy games of all time. He made Final Fantasy Type 0, he made Final Fantasy 7 Crisis Core, he made freaking Final Fantasy 15. I mean, he's just an awesome developer, and I know a lot of people say Tetsuya Nomura is #1, and honestly, I would say Hajime Tabata is my second favorite gaming developer of all time, and that's not only because of Type 0, and not only for Crisis Core, but especially Final Fantasy 15. I do wish him all the best. But yes, the financial statement for Square Enix, things aren't exactly smooth over at Squares these days. From the outside looking in, at times it seems as if the publisher is shockingly mismanaged, especially on the Japanese side of things, and now the company reports a $33 million loss in its latest financial statement. According to the games industry, the huge loss has been attributed to the Luminous Productions, an in-house studio that was established earlier this year, headed by Final Fantasy 15 director Hajime Tabata. The development team was set to work on other projects like videos and movies alongside big budget games, but now Square appears to have refocused the studio. From this point on, Luminous Production will concentrate on large-scale, high-quality AAA titles, which best leverage Luminous' strengths. This chopping and changing has costed publishers 3.73 billion yen, roughly $33 million. There is a management problem that people do believe, and you know that's fine. You know, games go through this. All right, all games go through this, but especially Square Enix, they will recover from the Shadow of the Tomb Raider is a pretty high quality game, but you know it's not selling as much. Hitman 2 is coming out. Also Just Cause 4 is coming out. Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out. Dragon Quest 11 is doing quite well. The Quiet Man, oh god, The Quiet Man. But one last thing for Final Fantasy 15, and this is some good stuff because I did say something for collaboration. I thought Tekken 7, but no, it's actually another Final Fantasy title, and it's not Final Fantasy 13. It's Final Fantasy 14, yes. But before that, of course, if you want to play the Final Fantasy 15 Comrades, I got some good news. Also, during the announcement event, Square Enix announced that Final Fantasy 15's Comrades multiplayer will now be released as a standalone game, meaning you don't need to the base game to play it. There will be a further 10 new bosses as well as more costumes and weapons in the standalone. Final Fantasy 15 multiplayer Comrades, as it's called, will launch on December 13th. Those who already bought the Comrades expansion will get the new standalone edition free. Now, of course, I think it is $10, which is pretty cool. So, also during the presentation, Square Enix announced a new cross promotion with Final Fantasy 14 Online. An event called Adventurer from Another World will be available inside Final Fantasy 15 on PS4, Xbox One, and PC starting December 12th. So there is some stuff still doing for Final Fantasy 15, and that's just amazing to hear. But however, guys, it is honestly sad to, you know, think that a game like Final Fantasy 15 had to end off on this type of note. Now, I'm not saying that Final Fantasy 15 was gonna go on forever, because, you know, it's not gonna go on forever. Every video game has to come to an end, unless you're a multiplayer game. Then, you know, you're there for a while. But like Final Fantasy 15, for a single player game to be updated for over 2 years, that's just amazing. And it's been a fun ride for Final Fantasy 15. People like Ray Chase and all the other voice actors um, took us all on this amazing road trip, and I'm just happy that I was there along for the ride, and I'm hoping you guys will enjoy the ride as well. And you know, there is always that ray of hope at the end of a production for a video game. There is the hope of, you know, the next title. So Final Fantasy 16 possibly in development. That is what I think. But also Luminos Productions, maybe they'll be making their own AAA titles, not to any new brands. But if I know Square, they are possibly doing something for Final Fantasy 16, but that I really do doubt that. But who knows? But anyway, guys, that is it for this video. Please leave a like, helps me a lot. Comment down in the comment section down below what you guys think. Share with friends, because sharing is caring, and most importantly, subscribe to become a fellow Lightning Bolt. Anyway, guys, that is it for this video, and as always, this is Lightning Shade. Blaze out.